As a Creo user, you could easily be spending 20 hours or more designing and modifying models and assemblies every week. Now, we're used to personalising settings on all kinds of things, your telly, your phone, the radio in the car, and we do this for ease of use and to save time. And you can do the same on Creo. If you go to File and then down to Options, you'll find a list on the left-hand side where you can make many changes to make your work more efficient and easier to manage. So let's go through some of these options and see if we can make your time modelling a little bit easier and quicker. First area is System Appearance. Here you can adjust many aspects of how Creo looks. Some users prefer to have a dark background or even the midnight theme, which might be easier on the eyes. If you're spending a long time designing, it also might make it easier to pick out particular aspects of the model. Below here are some further options related to the colours used for different elements within Creo. On datum planes, for example, it can be relatively difficult to differentiate between the positive and the negative side. Changing these to more obvious different colours may help. One change I use typically when doing surfacing is to set the quilt to a lighter colour, for example yellow, and to use a dark background. Doing this makes discovering potential issues with these designs more obvious and easier to spot. Moving down to the model display area, there are a couple of changes you can make. Firstly, I change the orientation to isometric, which I feel looks more realistic, and also select datums and silhouette edges for when reorienting the model. This way I can usually orientate myself around designs and make sure I know where the front and the top and the right are. Related to this, in the Entity Display area, I change my geometry display settings to shaded with edges, my edge display quality to very high so I don't get that jagged edge on smaller curved surfaces. And I also ensure that I turn on all the datum display settings, including the tags, so that all my datums are labelled on the screen. And then finally I move down to Sketcher on the left hand side. I scroll down to the bottom of these options. Here I'll make some changes to make the sketching plane parallel to the screen. This means every time I start an extrude or a revolve or whatever, the screen rotates to face me to save me a click every time. You can also here make your sketching lines thicker, and you have options here between 0.5 and 3. You can also turn on here Sketcher References, automatically create references, and adjust the level of snapping to geometry. And then lastly, I turn on all my sketch diagnostic tool, highlighting any overlapping geometry, open ends, etc. to make sure my sketches are correct and stay robust. So just a few little handy hints, saving you hopefully a bit of time and making your time with Creo a bit more pleasurable.